So I received some packages. Piet, a viewer from my channel, was clearing his attic, and well, he makes a lot of loudspeakers as well. I've seen some of his designs, and it's quite a huge amount, and some interesting designs as well. Mostly planar magnetic combined with woofers, BNGs, etc. I think he has a Magnepan right now. So that is kind of funny. I mean, you've seen, usually it's the other way around, that people have a Magnepan and then go to BNG and if they want some more output. But I can, well, I understand a Magnepan full range planar has a different sound. If you don't need to like pump really insanely loud music, then a Magnepan might be the better choice if you like it. I mean, you know, there's no good or bad. I mean, it all depends what you want to do. So he made some interesting designs, and he found some woofers on the attic that he had like for spare. I guess for if one of the woofers break down in the current setup, that he could use these, because sometimes they're not available anymore and then you're kind of screwed. In this case, I looked them up because they are single woofers, like not orphans, like widows. But I can still get them if I want a second one to have a pair. So this box is not a surprise, I opened it already, but this one is a surprise because that's also something he found on the attic. And it was some Class D amplification thingies. So I'm really curious. I'll do this box first, and then the big one. It's quite heavy as well. So in this box, it's not a surprise for me. I mean, I know what it was, but still. So inside this box there are two woofers. And this, by having these, or at least one of them, people cannot say anymore, why always use cheap woofers? So I'll check for myself how much better these, you know, the more expensive ones are. Of course they should be better, but my question is always how much better. Usually it doesn't reflect in the amount it costs. So first off, in SB Acoustics, it's a rather, it's not cheap, a cheap brand, but affordable brand. And I've showed you a few times the one with the plastic basket. And this is a little bit better version. It's not the Satori or something, but it's, you know, these with a cast aluminium frame. A very nice looking driver, to be honest. Very nice. You can see it's the same design almost as the plastic ones, except this is a aluminium casted. Oh, there's a sploosh here. Surrounds feels really thin and floppy, but I guess the spider is doing most of the work. Because this doesn't feel like really soft, but the surrounds reminds me a little bit of the calf woofers. The feel of it, like really thin and squishy. But that's a neat looking driver. Kind of weird. I'm not sure if you can see this, but the aluminium is a bit like this. So this side is thicker than here. Weird. It's not flat. So it's good if you want to mount this or like flush mount it. Keep this thickness in mind. Very nice driver. I mean, either I buy a second one, or, you know, I think you can still use this quite well as a subwoofer for a 2.1 setup or something. It's a very nice driver, and it's around 60 euros new. You can see it is used, and that's no problem at all. At least not for me. I mean, first off, he gave them to me instead of throwing them away. He tried to sell them, but drivers are hard to sell secondhand. And I'm very pleased he did. Because why not? Always can be handy. I'm a bit of a hoarder if it comes to stuff like this. Not so much because I want to have everything, but usually it's more like, oh really, are you gonna throw that away? Well, you know, I feel bad, so I'll just store it here. Maybe I'll use it. Usually I do use everything, but it can take, you know, sometimes years. Very nice, so that's one. Where did I left the box? Here. So you created even a little bit of the box to transport it nicely, so thank you for that. They arrived safe and sound. Sound, I don't know, but at least they look... No, it's the other way around, like this. They arrived in good condition so far. That's one. And then, for those that want me to use a more expensive woofer, it's also a 6-inch. It's a C's. It's a C's. This number doesn't say much to me at all, but clearly it's a carbon fiber cone and a very small roll surround and a huge face block, which doesn't feel like aluminium even, it's plastic or something. Which also is funny, I'm not sure how high they play, but if a face plug is even interesting for this size woofer. Maybe it is, depending on how high it reaches. Also used, no problem at all. I think he tested some stuff with it. Perfectly fine for me. Because I'm gonna use it as a test woofer as it is right now, because I don't own a second one. Very nice woofer. This is like more the... You know, it's not the most high-end woofer, but it is a very good one, and it's more than twice what the previous woofer cost. So you might expect something as well from this one. And I'm really curious how it performs compared to a woofer that is half the money. A huge box, it doesn't fit the frame. Nice packaging material. I love packaging materials. I'll keep it in my... Nice, how do people have so much packing material? Ooh. Ooh. Wow. Some cabling. The Euro connector, always handy. And a speakon with the it's the power, I guess, and something else, I don't know. Well, that's weird. Well, let's see. But it is a very nice looking enclosure. Well, with a USB socket from Nr1, I guess. That looks nice. And a speakon and one channel in. What do we have here? So this might not be power in this case. I might need to get it open, I'm afraid, because I'm not sure what it exactly is. Well, I know what it is. I mean, it's an amplifier, but... And I know why they are USB, because I think there was a DSP inside, which is very cool. That's neat. Aha! Whoa, that's a beefy... That is a beefy Class D amplifier, by the looks of it. So the Speakon is used as a 2-channel speaker wire. And this is audio in, and it's used as a subwoofer amplifier, so it's only using 1 channel in and 2 channels out. A very good use of a old adapter for a phone, I assume. I mean, why not? And a power supply that is a Meanwell, which is a good brand. It's a solid state, or what is it? Switching power supply, which is pretty okay for these kinds of things. Now I wonder, because so this thing can be fat single voltage, or is it? Might need to look up this board, because I thought this one needed plus, you know, like a center tap from a transformer. I thought, at least. So I'm not sure. Might need to look this board up and see if you can wire it like this. Yeah, apparently, because he used it, but if there is more to gain if you wired it up with a normal toroid or something, which I don't have, but I mean, the case would allow a toroid. I believe this is a like a delay, or, you know, if you power it up, this will wait on something. Apparently it should wait on input and then it switches on, which is also funny. So it even comes with relays. Nice. So this is, I'm not able to see a board number. And I'm not able to see what this is, but I guess it is a 48 volts. Yes, 48 volts, 7.3 ampere. So this is a very beefy switching power supply. 48 volts at 7 amps, so that's quite a lot. So I assume this is quite a lot as well. Might need to increase the thickness of these wires, depending on if you're ever gonna use all that power. But so this is the delay. I wonder if you can set the delay by the pot when it turns on, or maybe the voltage or signal it has to receive before it turns on. Might need to ask some stuff. Ah, yeah, and then it powers on the amplifier later, so that's what it does, I think. So this is, you can mute this by these 2 wires, I guess, or I'm just guessing here. So if there's a signal, it turns on the power supply, and then it waits a little bit and turns on or disables the mute of the amplifier. So you don't get like a huge foop or something. I think that's the way it works. Correct me if I'm wrong, Piet, because you know better. You built the thing, so. This is a nice enclosure with all these holes, and you can like lay it out. Quite cool. I like the USB thing. So it's connected to. Is this a mini DSP? It is a DSP, but my mini DSP looks different, I think. These has all these kind of connectors. I'm not sure if mine has this, but I think this is a mini DSP. I think the 2.4, but then maybe another version. Might need to look it up because the version I use at the moment is a stupid version. The one that only has output of 0.9 volts RMS, I believe, which is a little bit on the low side, I must say. So this is some beefy 2-channel amp, and it could be bridged, I believe. He said you could bridge it to like 500 watts. Not sure if I ever need 500 watts, but that is cool. So yeah. I'll be really happy with this. It has some nice weight to it as well. I mean, it's not heavy as a Class AB amplifier, of course, because Class D is very efficient, as you can see. No big transformer. I wonder how much noise this will make. Maybe we can check that. But I know Meanwell power supplies are one of the better ones, in my opinion at least. I really like the Meanwell power supplies. I use it for all kinds of stuff, different stuff. So, yeah, and then it doesn't turn on. Well, just a little light here, but I should put a signal in, then it should turn on. And maybe the fan doesn't even work if it's not like drawing 7 amps, which it probably will never do at 48 volts. So let's see if I can add a signal here and see if it turns on. So I soldered the cable up, and these connectors, this connector here needs a bit of I don't know, somehow it was on the pins, but it didn't make perfectly contact. I'm not sure why. Maybe I used some spray, some contact adhesive, or the contact adhesive, contact spray cleaner. But now it is powering on. Click. So it enables the power supply, the amplifier, and the mini DSP. And there's a very nice power button. So yeah. Next up will be adding a magnet, adding a speaker. Jesus Christ, I have troubles finding words. So next up will be attaching a loudspeaker of some sort. And look what the DSP settings are, because it's used as a subwoofer amplifier. So I can imagine it's like, you know, settings for subwoofers. That's my guess. But yeah, very nice. It's so cool. Thanks a lot. Bye bye.